Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of What If Civilization Started Over. We will be seeing more stuff happen in this episode, and I'm actually recording this the same day as I recorded episode 19. This video, though, will be posted on Sunday, and then I will make a video on Sunday, and then I will post that one on Monday, and then there will be one Wixel episode every day leading up to Christmas, and then we will see more stuff happen because I want more stuff to happen in the series, and not much I just need to catch up on some things. But yeah, let's get right into this video. So, first things first, actually. Bangladesh will get 3 new major cities. Myanmar gets 6. Hainan Island gets 1. Vietnam gets 1. They both get 1. Persia gets 2. These guys are all gonna get 1 more major city. Korea gets 2 more major cities. Hokkaido actually gets 3 more. So that looks okay. Nope. What am I doing? Yeah. Wise words from me. But now we see how strong Japan is getting. I mean, well, this is Hokkaido, but Hokkaido is invading Lower Japan, and there's actually countries interested in this, but they're not gonna get there in time. So Hokkaido is gonna easily take these guys over, and now they're probably like 11th in strength. In that peace treaty, there was full annexation, but now we will go down to East Timor, where we see them take more of New Guinea, or Papua New Guinea, whatever you want to call it. I'm gonna call it New Guinea, as like calling the whole island New Guinea. But yeah, and they have kind of explored over here, but also at the same time, not really, because every day they lose more and more of what they explored. But eventually, they're gonna bring some others out to explore it, and yeah, that goes alright, and they will hold on to this area that they know of now, like know of well. But yeah, and this entire area right here will be explored. I just had to kind of map it out before I did, so it's gonna be like squiggly and stuff. But yeah, so that also means all of that part of Australia is discovered. And finally, Scotland will do something, which is discover the rankings. Woohoo! The rankings are now discovered. But oh no. What happened over here? Hold on, guys. I'm gonna have to fix this. Okay, and I am back. I just fixed whatever happened to Greenland. I hope that hasn't happened anywhere else on the map. But, anyways, let's get back to the African claims and see what that will look like. For a few of these, which will be Rome and Russia, they do have parts of land that are in other countries, like claims in other countries. So we will now see Russia go ahead and invade these guys. And what's this? Oh. Okay. No more. It's a part of the River Slayer. So now I will go ahead and show Russia absolutely destroy this country because, well, Russia's one of the strongest countries. They are number 4. How aren't they higher, you say? Are you kidding me? Lapria and Malaysia and Malaysia? I'm not fixing that. I mean, okay, I have to turn off African claims. I will put this back fully. And we do see Ethiopia get the southernmost areas, while Russia gets gets all of the rest of the country. And yeah, that's that. But we will look at Rome pretty much never, because, well, real quick, as you can see, I've already done some of these, and I have to fix this. I've already done some of the claims. This is what they look like. This is what these countries will be getting. Straight line, But yeah. Actually, sure, why not? Let's show the Rome one. Oh hey, Morocco comes to help, and Rome can't do anything. Boom. Done. And now we will see what most of the countries get. Now this is what Africa looks like. So now we have one of the second biggest continent being fully colonized. And what's gonna happen? Well, a certain country won't be able to hold on to their colonies. And that country is, real quick, I'm gonna give these guys that, is Rome. So Rome will have a rebellion over here, which, what ideology is Rome again? A monarchy. These guys are communist, and they aren't really using the communist colors, so real quick, let me go over to the communism thing and give them the color. And these two areas right there are part of Rome's colony. But anyways, this communist rebellion is getting a bunch of ground, because even though there isn't really like any people settled here, it's like the entire population that's settled in these areas that are rebelling. But now we will see another type of ideology getting involved in this war, and that is anarchy. And that's all the ideologies that will be in this war, because I said so. And these guys like immediately capture the two major cities, and the anarchists are just going on a rampage, honestly. And if you ask me what an anarchy is, well, let me just go search it up real quick, because I forgot. No, I'm kidding. But, yeah, no, I did forget, but I'm kidding about going to search it up right now. And yeah. So, we will go look at provinces, and actually, the anarchists are only gonna get the provinces that are already made. So the communist, I guess Libya will be having like nothing, like no population at all, but that's fine. They don't need population because they're communist. And that is what happens here. So now we have this big random country that is too big for my liking. So they're gonna split up into a bunch of communist countries, as we can see right over here. And these guys get a bunch of land. And what do they do with all of their land? Invade the starting communist country. Because, yeah. And what happens here? Well, the red communist country just gets that. And then the actual communist country, I have to change their color because they're not gonna just stay as the color of communism. But yeah, this is what happens at the end of the war, including one more split down over here, which is actually a democracy, this one. So these four automatically don't like, these three automatically don't like this one, but it's being protected by some of the stronger countries around it. And there will be one more country that can't hold on. What is that country? Well, it's India, but only in one spot. And that one spot just so happens to be South Africa. So, South Africa rebels, and they're rebelling as a democracy, but this will stay as their color because this is the color I want them to be. So they will pretty quickly get the rebellion set up, and then they will start invading. And this rebellion is also to some extent being aided by the Malaysians. But funny enough, India decides to aid the rebellion and start it over here. So now all of this land is going to be taken by the rebellion. And yeah, so now we have this. Okay, never mind. Too big. So now we have. Okay, they'll have a different country near them. It will be this country up here that's landlocked, because I don't want them to have coast. But I feel like the South Africans are too big. Okay. And now, this is what Africa looks like. So let me see. What should we do next, guys? What should we do next? Oh, I know. Get rid of the African claims layer. We don't need that anymore. And take off provinces for now. I don't like seeing that. I need to fix them all. And they will take a while. But now what will happen is most of these countries that formed just last episode will start expanding and expanding, as well as the other 3 countries up here, which now finally connect up to these guys. And this country in green is in very much danger. Is in a lot of danger, because of how close their capital is to these true borders. In fact, so much danger that these true countries decide to invade, and they can easily cut off this country because of, well, how close their capital is to each border. And now the north and south is divided. Remember, this is a buffer state country. So if they're a buffer state country, they have to be shown. Not buffer state. A country, like a buffer country. Yeah, buffer country. That's blocking off these guys over here from these guys. And so they are strong, and that was just a dream that the leader had. So after that dream, the leader decides to instantly invade both of these countries, so that it can't actually happen. And yeah, the invasions go pretty successfully, with these guys taking over the rest of the land. And in fact, these guys will fully take over those countries. So now they are definitely bigger than these guys, I'd say. And these guys, well, these guys are gonna expand a lot, because they're actually one of the strongest here. Even though they were really small, they were still really strong. But yeah. And now they are also one of the biggest. They kind of look like a gun. And this part looks like a bullet. That's funny. But, yeah. Those guys will expand more. And then they will get a coalition against them. Coalition? Not really a coalition. No, not a coalition. Just a big war declared against them. Why? Some countries want land, but there's one country that will come to the aid of them. This is the blue country, because they're like trapped. and so they're just gonna kick those guys out of the war, and then these guys are basically safe. Because it's just... Okay, because it's just these two countries, which they do get a major city taken, and actually, this war does not go as planned. All of their military leaders are just messing up. And both of these guys have just started to make huge spearheads to the capitals. To the capitals? No, to the capital. And these guys don't want to carry these guys on their back. So they will make a small invasion, but also they will make a bigger invasion of these guys. Because they want to conquer a bunch of land and become the strongest in this region. Which actually, it's kind of working. Because, well, they're just going to take over that. And then connect up. And yeah, connecting up makes them able to hit these guys back. But the red team says thanks to them because, well, actually, what we didn't know is the red and blue team, they're allies. Yeah, they're allies. So, the red team is aiding the blue team in taking those guys out. And now the blue team, well, the blue team is going to get most of that land, while these guys get that. Then the red team will get all of this, plus lands over here, which they say they should get that and that, and the blue team is completely fine with it, as they just take that, and they're now the biggest over here, and they're probably near the same size as these guys. And they're gonna allow all the countries around to just take land from these guys, with Myanmar getting, once again, one of the biggest amounts of lands. And then they're just gonna take that, and then these two will take that. But a bunch of countries don't like these guys, specifically Myanmar and Hainan Island, and actually also Taiwan to some extent, because of this. Yeah, that. But these guys understand that, and so they're gonna invade Myanmar, and they're recently taken lands. And they actually quickly take a major city. Then they start going down the border of Bangladesh, like very easily, as if Bangladesh is in this war. And then after they go over the entire border of Bangladesh, there's a huge amount of pushes over here, because Bangladesh and these guys are both aiding them to do this, and together all three of those countries are stronger than these two. These guys are stronger than Hainan Island, but they're nowhere near as strong as Myanmar, while these guys are like almost as strong. And then these guys are not as close as the pink country, but yeah, together they're stronger. Together they're stronger. But Hainan Island, no, these guys do some very bad stuff to the Hainan Island country, which makes the pink team very mad. In fact, so mad that they start an invasion. That's how bad it is. Invasion level mad. Because they did not think that these guys would do some G-word aside to the Hainan Island country. But eventually this will all be taken back, and now a bunch of troops over here, Bangladesh ain't helping them anymore, will just be disintegrated. Yeah, disintegrated. But, you see how these guys border each other? Myanmar gives that land to the blue team so they don't border them. Why? Because, well, they think that these guys could be a big threat. And real quick, I just gotta see which major city is the red team's action. Okay, I know now. So, I also have to get, what the heck is happening? So, now, boom. And Taiwan, I said they don't like them. Taiwan takes over all of that. But the country getting the most aid is Hainan Island now. But also Taiwan and Hainan Island have a very bad history, as Taiwan broke away from the Hainan Island country. So Hainan Island will still be getting aid while they invade Taiwan. Why? Let's just say Taiwan lost all of their friendships with countries. And let's just say the Philippines just took over. No. North Borneo just took over. The North Borneo Empire just took over all of the Philippines. Anyways. These guys were the ones that Taiwan had the best relations with, even though they didn't have the greatest relations. So they just gave that land over. Because they weren't able to hold on to it anymore. And they couldn't stay as an independent country any longer. But yeah. I am now making the Philippines a brighter color because them and the big China are really close in color. But, oh yeah, that's why African claims aren't there. I deleted the layer. Made me scared for a second for some reason. Guys, this is what these guys get, okay? Don't blame them for their ugly borders. They said that they wanted it like that. Nah, I'm kidding, but they do get a bunch of land. As, well, they've already taken this land, but I just didn't show it on the map. Yeah, so, let's show it. yeah. This bottom area is pink team. What did I do here? Oh wait. Never mind. I know why. So that just goes like that. Yep, and then boom, 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 boom. Ta-da! Blue team is now biggest Chinese country again, but not the strongest, as pink team is still stronger. And a bunch of these countries are now gonna go to war. In fact, most. So to start it off, the Scottish country will just take over those guys. And then these guys will go ahead and, okay, that's really close in color. Yeah, in fact, it does that. So, now we will see these guys go ahead and do that, which in return, they get that. But in return, that, and that, and also that. So 3 countries are being occupied by these guys. But the 2 strongest out of these 6 are at the very top. And now they're gonna invade these guys. How are they the strongest? Cause they're just trading back and forth with each other. So, no. So then that happens, and also that happens, and that does not happen, because what happened? And, yeah, that happens. So, the new borders look like that. Yeah, that's right, they unite. I bet you didn't expect that. But they unite because I said so. Dad, like how it looks more. And now, this area is just strong countries. And there's actually going to be a massive war. Massive, massive war. Not a world war. It's just a massive war by what I call massive war because it's 3 pretty massive countries. Not massive countries, but combined they would be a massive country. See? So, what happens is these guys invade main India, and then these guys invade main India, and then these two start beefing for some reason, and then these guys invade these guys in the north, and then these guys invade these guys in the south. How is that darker? No, brighter. There we go. And yeah. So, I know that all of my recent videos have been very long, but not to worry because I'm gonna start making only 20-minute videos because those are a lot better to watch than like 45-minute videos. And these guys, as these guys are the only ones that can invade, will go ahead and invade. These guys over here, they're just gonna rush to reconnect up like that, and these guys will be like, oh, Okay. Leave them alone then. And then these guys, after reconnecting up, will tell all these troops to leave. And then, yeah, boom, boom. And the only front that's still going strong is this one, which has just captured the entire border. So just make it a true front war against the grayish one. Bro, that's what's gonna happen. Don't spoil it. Come on. So these guys are immediately gonna lose all of that because they aren't focusing on their land. They're only focusing on the Indian land. So then they send troops up there. And eventually, do you want to see how it's just gonna turn out? So basically, it's gonna turn out something like, well, it's gonna turn out like that. That's how it's gonna turn out. But before they end the war, there's gonna be one final push. That's right, one final push by these guys to kick out these guys from their country. And it works. And do you want to know what happens in the peace treaty? Well, if we go to provinces, I'm not doing that. Full annexation. Why? Whoa, just look. What would two decently strong countries do after the stronger one defeats the other one? Well, the stronger one will just probably fully annex the other strong country if it's reasonable to fully annex them. In this case, it is fully reasonable because they did take over the entire country while being invaded by the strongest Indian country. And after they fully annexed that other Indian country, they are now known as the strongest Indian country, even stronger than in colonizer India, which has just fallen down 2 rankings to Russia and Ankara, which Ankara is just this! They didn't even decide to colonize. So what are they gonna do instead? Invade these guys. Oh, smart. Let's go to provinces. Oh, cool. So basically, in this peace treaty, they're gonna get all of the like kind of coastal provinces, and then they'll give this one to Mesopotamia because they wanted to. Actually, they're gonna give this like Damascus one to Mesopotamia as well. So Mesopotamia, who has the Persian Gulf, kind of, who has a coast on the Persian Gulf, almost connects up to the Mediterranean. Actually, they invade this and just say, yo, since we invaded it, can we just buy it off of you? And then this country just says, you know what, whatever. And yeah, so that happens. There's now Mesopotamia reaching all the way over there. But that comes at a cost. My set color continuously darkening. They are changing their identity from Mesopotamia to the Grand Legion. And the Grand Legion, what are they gonna do? They aren't even that strong of a country in this series, Mesopotamia. So how are they even gonna do anything? Ho, they're gonna build up. Yeah, they're gonna build up. Huh? Oh, okay, I get it now. Alright, sorry, I was confused. But these guys, they're not messing around. The first thing that they will do is invade these guys. These guys stand no chance against the Grand Legion. Why? The Grand Legion, actually is just built different. I'm gonna just say it here. Like, actually, no, they're built different. I'm not joking. And they have a new policy where all the men in their country, 13 plus, have to go to gyms and work out and get really strong. And what does that do? Well, people 22 and older to 35 have to be in the military for at least some time. Like a year. That's what they say. But so they're getting so all of their people are very strong, and it seems like they're not gonna stop. Like, actually, it does not seem like it will stop. And I'm not even being dramatic about how fast they took out those guys, or how they're just going through the desert so fast. And why are they going through the desert so fast? They have made things for horses to be that, like, they, sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out what I'm trying to say. They have made things for horses where it makes them be able to run really fast in sand and stuff. And that is helping these guys so much. And they have a huge advantage because a bunch of their land is desert. And now they're looking a little like the old empire. Are they? Yeah, I'd say so. But they're not the old empire. They're the Grand Legion. And you want to know something? Cyprus unites with Turkey. This will be a long episode. These guys, well, it already is a very long episode, but combining the other clips, it will be like 50 minutes long if I stopped here, which I'm about it after I do the final scene of this episode. We have the Great Turkish Empire. That's what these guys are calling it. No, the Great Ankaran Empire. Yeah. And now we have two countries that are becoming very, 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 very strong in months. Yeah, months. I said months. Like 25 times stronger than the Azerbaijanis when the Azerbaijanis were number one. Which the Azerbaijanis were number one around what, episodes 2 or 3 to 5 maybe? Like around that. But yeah. And like not much longer. So Ankara has Ankara is 4th. India 6th. Yeah, India 6th. The Grand Legion is 5th. Persia has gotten back down to 3rd. Actually, no, India's 7th. Because the North India is stronger. The Grand Legion is 5th. But both the Great Ankaran Empire and the Grand Legion are getting up there. What about these guys? These guys aren't really doing anything. Yeah, they are. They're doing a lot. What are they doing then? One thing they're doing is, well, what is this? Oh, I'm on recolor, bro. I want it to be on erase. Sorry. I was like, what's happening? But these guys will collapse into as many countries as the provinces they have. From red to orange to yellow to green to I gotta fix this province to blue to hold on, let me fix another province, and then realizing that it isn't a province. To blue, capital, to purple in 2 provinces, actually. The purple country will have 2 provinces. Sorry. What am I doing? Okay, this is gonna be like almost an hour-long episode. So, seeing how long this episode will probably be, I will actually edit it. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna make it shorter. By a decent amount, too. To purple. To, again, red. And this is now the split of these guys. They have split up into the rainbow. Split up into the rainbow. That sounds so weird. I don't know why. And then capitals. And yeah. So that will do it for tomorrow's episode. By tomorrow's episode, I mean Sunday's episode, because I'm recording this on Saturday, if you remember that. And that I said at the beginning. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.